Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take us from the 2nd to the 9th of June. I've already posted my general reading for the month of June, and there's a link below for your love and relationship readings, which are on Vimeo for this month, if you choose to watch them or not. Okay, so give me an additional guidance card for the sign of Aquarius for the week ahead. Okay, you got the beautiful peace card, okay? So the peace card is about feeling at ease within your own world. It sort of comes when we're not searching, we're not constantly striving for things, but our life feels like it's at a place where we can just relax, just be. A little bit like the Fool card. We feel quite carefree when the peace card appears. So please give me cards to clarify what this piece is for Aquarius and what lies ahead for the sign. So what lies behind is the Wheel of Fortune. So this will be, if you're watching this before the 2nd, this will be the Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Maybe some of you have had a turnaround of events. The gift is the King of Wands. The challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the 10's behind us, but the challenge is the 10. So let's carry on. How other people are showing up for you is the Tower card. So there might be some changes in your relationship dynamics. People in your life might be making some changes by the looks of it. The Ten of Swords is a central issue, and then you've got the Queen of Wands as the outcome. So you've got a couple showing up here. So this could be, for many of you, a relationship dynamic. If this is a relationship dynamic, there's an awful lot of passion between the two of you. This is the hot couple, essentially. When it's cups, it's all feelings, but the King and Queen of Wands is just an awful lot of passion. So why is the Tower showing up for Aquarius? And this is how other people are entering into your life. So there might be some news coming your way. There might be some of your relationship dynamics, and they're making an awful lot of changes. So tell me why the Tower is coming across for Aquarius in the relationship dynamics, please. Okay, with the Hanging Man. Wow, okay. So the Tower is generally a card of restructuring. It's about changes that people are making in their relationships, and it's with the Hanging Man. The Hanging Man is about not having a sense of control around the situation and where it's going. Okay, a lot of people don't like the Hanging Man because we don't like that sense that we're not in control of. It might be around this King and Queen of Wands. It can be around a financial issue because the Ten of Discs is the challenge, okay? So what I'm going to do is start the reading right at the beginning, and then I'll continually clarify, because already this looks like a little bit of a complicated story because the Ten of Swords is there. I don't read the Ten of Swords the way a lot of other people read it. I tend to read the Ten of Swords very much like the Hanged Man, because it comes after the 9. So it's generally about taking a leap of faith, which in fact some of you might be taking a huge leap of faith, maybe in a relationship dynamic. So what's behind you is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's number 10. It's a completion card. It represents timing. A lot of you get very, very frustrated when I mention the word divine timing, but there is a clock that's in charge of everything in this universe. That's what astrology is, by the way. Essentially, I'm also an astrologer. So there's some sort of sense of destiny here, something going on, some turnaround of events. Now, the gift is this very, very intense and very, very passionate King of Wands. This might be a person, or this could be your energy, Aquarius. This could be you really, really getting your life force together in order to turn things around for yourself, essentially. Okay? The challenge is the Ten of Pentacles. So why is the Ten of Pentacles a challenge? Because the Ten of Pentacles is another completion card. This is a financial completion. It's also about stability and security. If it's a relationship dynamic, this would be about commitment, because all the pentacles represent the energy of solidity and commitment. So maybe that's what some of you are dealing with. It's a commitment issue. Because of the Tower and the Hanging Man and the Ten of Swords, they all sort of have a little bit of the same dynamic. Major arcanas, the 10 is this sort of card of no longer being controlled by anxiety and fear and taking a huge leap of faith. And some of you might be taking a leap of faith into a relationship. Okay, definitely with a couple showing up, and they're both showing up in the same direction, which means they both want the same things. So that is maybe a sort of energy here. But who is this King of Wands as the gift, please? Who is the King of Wands as the gift? Okay, it's with the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is the opposite side of the Death card. This might be used having a renewal in a relationship, the renewal of attraction. Maybe some of you have been in this sort of phase of your life where you felt your desires, your passions have been a little bit underground, but it's definitely not underground anymore, because the Judgment card is the card of resurrection, and what's been resurrected might be a relationship, because the King is looking at the wheel. So there's this sense of destiny in this relationship, but all our relationships are destined, Aquarius, okay? But the Rebirth card, one of my favourites. So this might, for some of you, this might be a relationship that left your life and is coming back, by the way, because that's what the Judgment card represents. But it's also the resurrection of your passions, your life force, that feeling of the world is your oyster, and actualising your energy in order to go forward, to turn that wheel around. The Ten of Pentacles is a challenge. So why is the Ten of Pentacles a challenge? It comes with the Devil card. So again, every time, Aquarius, we set out in a new life direction, we gather all this energy up in order either to resurrect a relationship, because some of you are definitely resurrecting a relationship, or resurrecting your passion, but it might be about your drive. We always meet obstacles. The devil always shows up when we're about to get to the most juicy, most creative, most dynamic part of our life. The obstacles come up, and they're the obstacles that are meant to test us. We need to get to a point, Aquarius, where we expect to meet the devil. And when we expect to meet these obstructions and these obstacles, we no longer get fazed by them. We just understand, oh, okay, there's obstacles to my vision, and how do I begin the process of basically outwitting the devil or overcoming these obstacles, okay? Your relationship dynamics looks like it's got something very, very powerful showing up here. So maybe this Judgment card, this King of Wands and this Tower appearing is someone coming back from the past. It really, really could be someone coming back from the past, by the way. Or it's this sort of, it's going to be a shock meeting for some of you, by the way. Definitely with that Tower card. That Tower card tends to represent these love at first sight dynamics. That sudden, oh my gosh. Very, very exciting card to show up. For some of you, the people in your life are presenting you with some sort of shock. They might be leaving a job, walking away from something, and because the Ten of Pentacles and the Devil is a challenge, maybe they haven't got something quite to go to yet. That's one way of reading these cards. But because it's with the Hanging Man and the Ten of Swords is next to it, there's already a message of surrender. This is about relationships. The Two of Cups has appeared. The Hanging Man and the Ten of Swords is pretty much the same card to me. By the time we get to the Ten of Swords, we've already worked through our fears and our anxieties. We've also worked through that Eight of Swords, all those reasons why we cannot follow our heart and follow our dreams. By the time the Hanged Man and the Ten of Swords is showing up, you get to that point where it's a little bit of a decision to trust, to take a leap of faith and see how the relationship unfolds. So I think for some of you there's a really, really, really strong message around that, because your outcome is the Queen of Wands, the gift is the King, and the outcome is the Queen. Again, an awful, awful lot of passion and attraction going on here. Both the King and the Queen are clarified with the Star card, which is our card. But because for many of you this is clearly some sort of relationship dynamic, for some of you it might be a relationship at work, okay? It could be, by the way. Because relationships come in many, many, many shapes or forms. But that King and Queen of Wands showing up with the Two of Cups, I know how these dynamics tend to play out. Now the Star card, again, is about transparency. It's about intimacy, and we become intimate when we share our feelings. Look at the Star card. See, she's pouring out her water because she has faith. She has this faith that as she gives to the world, as she's transparent and she's honest, then there is no harm that can be done to us when we're that honest. That's how I find things, okay? And I'm not saying we're honest with people who are not. I'm not saying go and be honest with people who are absolute asses, by the way. I'm talking about being honest about our feelings, because there's clearly a very, very strong connection between you and someone else, Aquarius, okay? What I realised, because the Devil was showing up here, there could be a Capricorn person, but it could equally be a fire sign person as well. But there's definitely a message of going with the flow. Yeah. This going with the flow energy is about making a decision to trust life. Now, I'm not saying trust life if you've got major red flags going on, because we always know somewhere deep within us if a relationship's right for us or not. Many of us choose to not listen to the red flags, including myself, and then we get burnt. But there's no obvious presentation here that you've been deceived, that there's dishonesty going on. So in that case, Aquarius, it's about trusting this flow of life. Because the Ten of Pentacles is a challenge, it might be some sort of financial issue is a challenge. The challenge is not the 5, remember? So it's not about financial lack, but maybe there's this feeling of, well, I'm not quite sure how much I've got to share, especially for yous, and the people are turning up as a tower, so they've made some real drastic changes and you don't feel you've got enough to support that person. For some of you that might be the case, but for some of you this is clearly a love relationship here. Something brand new or something from the past that you thought was gone is now coming back. Because the Hangman and the Ten of Swords, there's definitely a call to trust and have faith. Sometimes we need to take chances. You know, when we're young and people tell us don't put your hand in the stove or you'll get burnt. When we become adults, we have to learn to move out and take risks and take chances. And knowing that even if the relationship goes wrong, then we're going to be okay, Aquarius. Because the Ten of Swords and the Hangman to me, and I'm also an Aquarius, is about opening ourselves up and taking risks and saying yes. That's how I read these cards. Any other advice for Aquarius, please? You're just laughing now. The Ace of Wands. Passion, new beginnings, energy, dynamic. Fire is very, very expressive energy. It's also, there's an awful lot of passion here, guys. I tell you what, I'm very, very excited to be an Aquarius this week, okay? I think we've waited long enough. I think we as a sign, it's our time to have love, to have partnership, to have joy, to have self-expression. And love our reading, and I'll speak to you next week, Aquarius. Bye.